All right, let's start off. Let's get this guy. Let's get this show on the road. So Hasan is back. He has a video called "I'm Sorry." I'm assuming this is to do with his ban. He got banned for saying the c word. We'll say it the right way, cracker. You got to hit that a on it, or else it becomes offensive. I truly believe that only white people can say it with the a, but nobody should say it with the hard r. All honesty, though, like, he got banned, and, like, bro, listen, I understand that cracker isn't as bad as the N-word or any other slur. Let's be honest. Let's just be honest. But it's still it's still trying to be antagonist towards white people. Like, it's still racist towards white people. If I don't feel like, if you're like the guy that's like, you can't be racist towards white people, I disagree, but you're still trying to be prejudiced, so it's still wrong. Okay? That's the whole thing. That's what it really boils down to. And a lot of people say, well, there's no historical implication behind it, et cetera, et cetera. And then other people will say that it has to do with, like, oh, you're cracking the whip, so it's not as bad. It's not as bad, of course. But, like, it's weird, if that means, like, you're the guy cracking the whip, you'd want people to be offended by that. You shouldn't want people to be like, yeah, I'm just like, you shouldn't want white people to identify with racist oppressors. But even if it has no historical meaning, which I don't think it really does, like, think about it this way. Imagine I made up a word, clump. That's a word. Clump is a word. Crunanner. I don't know. And I said that it means, like, dirty person of color. Would you think that's racist? Yeah. It has no historical implication. I just made the word up, crunanner. But it's a bad word because it's intentionally trying to be antagonistic. Like, that's really what it is. It's very simple. Is it as bad as other words? No. But we should just try to be nicer. That's it. It's not that big of a deal. And there's a bit of a wave of normalization of, like, hating white people. Like, white people are the only people that are really socially monitored on what they're saying, which isn't bad. We should be monitored. But there's, like, no other people are. So it's, like, kind of annoying. It's just annoying at this point. It's actually just annoying. It's just like, just stop. Just stop just saying meany words to white people. It's annoying. Anyway, let's get this going. Before we do that, though, I've seen that there's, like, a weird argument on Twitter with, like, Ethan and Keemstar. I couldn't find the Keemstar one. Keemstar, like, apparently, like, in 2014 said that the word cracker was, like, dumb and didn't matter. So it's kind of funny that he's all up in arms about it. This was kind of funny, though. Keemstar says, whatever, racism, no matter the race, blah, blah, blah. And then Ethan says being white isn't a race. He promptly deleted that tweet. Can we just acknowledge that maybe Ethan and probably Keemstar, these guys shouldn't really be engaged in politics, probably. I mean, you do you. You do you. But, like, it's so funny that a lot of people online, I know Hasan has said it before, and, like, Destiny too, like, a lot of political people, they talk about how dumb the average person is. You got the average person right here. And here. Not gonna, but, you're working with them. So, just saying, Hasan, maybe you should criticize. I mean, at this point, Ethan's kind of just a fucking muppet and it's fine to not be super engaged in politics, but it's like, I mean, this is insane. I mean, come on, bro. This is like the basic, everybody makes mistakes. This is like the most basic thing to know. White's a race. Race is a social construct. The categorization of race is socially constructed. I get it. White would be considered a race, though. I mean, come on, bro. It's just bizarre. It's just bizarre. Anyway, let's get into Hasan's, I'm assuming, very genuine apology. Of course, duh.
7 days ago, I did something. Many of you know what that thing was. Some of you don't. Probably most of you do, though, because I was not around for the past 7 days when I wanted to be. 7 days ago, I was banned for the most egregious, the most unacceptable action that anyone on any platform could have ever engaged in. That's right. Now,
it's, like, weird because why? I just want to say, because it's just bizarre. Like, I know that he's basically just going to bitch and moan and cry about how he got banned and how he thinks is unjustifiable. But, like, why does it have to be the worst thing in the world for it to get a ban? I mean, Amaranth was licking cat ears and she got banned. That's not the worst thing in the whole world, but they were like, hey, we don't want this on here. And then they brought her back and they banned her again. But you get my point. It doesn't have to be the worst thing in the world for it to be bad. Like I said before, you know what I mean? Just because pissing on a wall isn't as bad as shitting on a wall doesn't mean that you should go pissing on a wall,
I'm going to issue a trigger warning here to describe to you the things that I did, and then I'm going to apologize. I'm going to apologize for my actions. That's right. It all started when I had turned on MasterChef, which is the new meta. I don't even know if it's still the new meta. I haven't been on Twitch in the past 7 days. And two of my moderators, Not Your Average African and Fizz, got banned in succession, in a row, out of nowhere. And I ride or die for my community. So of course, in the most hard-headed way possible.
I feel like I don't know if that's true. I mean, he constantly bans people who just disagree with him, even if they're like 3-year subs, but okay.
I consider this to be an unacceptable thing and pushed Twitch's buttons because of the very same thing I've talked about a million times over about the term yes, the delicious, saltine good, the crunchy, sometimes cheesy, but oftentimes
this is like you gotta cope, bro. This is so ridiculous.
Bland baked good. Moderators were banned for that term for using the word against a white person. I thought this was unacceptable because I do not believe that any white person, in all sincerity, is genuinely upset, frustrated, angry, or offended by this term.
I think that you just can't make that assertion. I think that that's really like listen, dude. There are people you can think that they're sensitive. If you want, that's totally fine. You think that white people are just being sensitive, that's totally fine. But the assertion that no white people are actually offended by the word is kind of just dumb. Like there are people that are just offended, and mostly I think there's different categories of people, right? They're his mods pop. Okay. Anyway, there are people who are offended by the word. I mean, I don't know. I'm not personally offended at this point. It's just getting annoying. Like, I'm not offended by it, but now, because I remember I was like, yeah, I don't care about the word. Now it's just annoying because of how many people are just like doubling down. Like, it's a totally fine word to use. It's like, bro, it's kind of just weird. Like, it's just getting annoying now because I know you're trying to be antagonistic, and that's what makes it so annoying. It's like the I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. It's like, it's annoying. It's childish, bro. Like, it's just insane. And the assertion is like, nobody's actually offended. People are offended. Whatever, man. It's the point of the word is to be antagonistic to white people. White people are getting upset. Like, why do we need to say the word? It's just fucking weird, dude. It's just weird.
Any of my naysayers that whipped up themselves in a frenzy over the past week certainly were doing touchdown end zone dances, joking about how not severe the term cracker was and how they were just memeing for the most part, and that Twitch is a bunch of fucking idiots for even following through on such a pathetic, idiotic capitulation to white fragility, oftentimes pushed by some of the most insanely racist individuals, as you all probably saw on the internet, and other times pushed by...
Sure, there are some people that are racist. Maybe I've seen like one person on Twitch. Oh, no, it's not Twitch, excuse me. Twitter that was like, you know, I don't care. We should just be able to say both words or neither of them, you know? Like the N-word, you know what I mean? It's like, no, I don't think that we should be able to say the N-word. I've seen some people, but I think that most people are just like, you know, this is dumb. Like, stop. I know you're trying to just be antagonistic. And the way that this comes off is just like, yeah, fuck white people. It's like, okay, that's fine. But like, you don't think that it's a bit racist? And people be like, well, Hasan's white. Okay. Well, self-hating. Right? I don't know. You get my point, though. Why do we need to say it? It just feels like this feels like some real, like, this just feels so childish. Just stop. Why not just stop saying the word? Be angry about it, disagree. But after he got banned, he goes on fucking Ethan's thing or their thing together, and he just starts doing like a tier list of like offensive words for white people. It's like, do you not see how like this is embarrassing and pathetic at this point? It's just so dumb. Like, you got banned, move on, stop saying the word, but he feels like he needs like the last laugh. Like, this is a pride thing. This is a total, honestly, like a man move. This is a pride thing. At this point, he just needs to salvage his pride and get the last laugh in and the last lick in at Twitch. That's all it really is. And this is the hill we're dying on. I mean, it's kind of pathetic.
By maybe people who were whipped up into a frenzy because they themselves were being agitated and were being talked to by those who were interested in pushing for white identity politics. But I've learned my lesson, folks. Boys, girls, MBs, I've learned my lesson.
White identity politics, bro, come on.
I am now a white identitarian. That's right. White is right, I say. I myself make a pledge to never use the term ever again unless I am referencing a delicious, bland, unseasoned saltine. The snack, I mean. That's right, I've learned. 7 days went by. When I was banned, I lost my fucking mind, pretty much, because as much as we talk about parasocial relationships, I myself, as many of you know, have a reliance on Twitch streaming to create some kind of organization in my life and to give me a sense of purpose. So not having the community that I've cultivated to rely on a daily basis made me go a little fucking crazy. It made me go bananas. I mean, I'm serious. I was able to still, you know, stream. I did the Ludwig stream. I did the H3H3 Leftovers podcast that we did live. You know, I'm sure some of you guys saw that. But it wasn't enough because, you know, it wasn't my community. It wasn't my chat. I really did miss all of this. I missed it a lot, actually. The thing I wanted to mention before I fucking tweet out that I'm live and alive once again after 7 fucking days, holy shit, and it does feel really good to be back, is that, look, I have learned my lesson. I am proud of my heritage. I'm proud. I have, you could say, white pride. You know, I've learned my lesson not to ever offend white people ever again. Oh, brother, I've learned that looking at
what's so wrong with the assertion that you should try not to offend people, like white people? Like they're see, because here's the thing. And this is something I know this isn't particularly profound, but it's almost profound in my head. Is that I feel like people are going to interpret that message the way that they want to interpret that message based on how they want to feel about the situation. So he says, I'm pledging never to offend white people. So if my interpretation is like here.
My lesson not to ever offend white people ever again. Oh,
so he's saying that in like a sarcastic tone. And I take that as like you're trying to be like antagonistic towards white people, acting like you're trivializing like frustrations from white people. Other people are going to interpret that as like, oh no, you need to offend white people sometimes, because you do when it comes to race conversations, right? If you have a white person that swears up and down that systemic racism doesn't exist, and they're like, yeah, white, you know, whatever. Of course, you have to tell them that they're wrong, and they will be offended, and they're white, and there's a level of them being offended because they're white, because they are in some capacity being attached to like historical racism and oppression. But that's not like an antagonistic like fuck you. That's like a hey, we need to have a conversation about race, and like yeah, historically white people are the bad guys. Of course, that doesn't mean that you're a bad guy, right? But there's a difference between having kind of like in-depth, nuanced race conversation, talking about how like white people have been kind of shitty, versus saying like, versus being like, yeah, fuck crackers. You know what I mean? Like those are two very different things. Those are just not the same conversation. And I feel like people are going to interpret it the way that they want to interpret it. But like it's just fucking insane.
Brother, I've learned that looking at the online discourse around this, especially on Reddit, I learned that actually the C word is just as severe as the N word, if not worse, because everybody...
I don't think that like the overwhelming majority of people aren't saying that. Like I can go on the internet and find a place where it says that fucking horses is the best thing in the world and it's actually good for the environment. Because like the internet's fucking insane. You know what I'm saying? There's like there's a massive minority. There's an incredibly small minority of people saying that they have the same impact. Those people don't really matter. Like those people are just like fucking, they're just a small group of people. Most people are like, yeah, the word isn't as bad, but it's still trying to be antagonistic, so we just shouldn't say it. It's not that big of a deal, bro.
Everybody knows not to say the N-word, but nobody will stop and think about the white man. I learned about power, white power, how powerful whites are. All of those things. That was the lesson, right? That is the lesson about white identity politics, is that no matter how powerful you might be as a certain subsect of the population, no matter how your made-up racial designation that encaptures all of the races that you have declared or all the ethnic backgrounds that you have declared to be white, no matter how much it changed throughout history, one thing remains the same, and that is that white people are powerful. It's the in-group. It's the dominant group. So that's what I've learned. That's what Twitch expects me to do, right? What? Isn't that what Twitch expects me to do? Be a white identitarian? So here...
This is just like a weird gaslight. It's just don't say the word, bro. It's not that deep. It's not that serious, bro.
Here I am doing advocacy for the white race, which is a race.
Bro, this is a whole 20-minute video about how he really wants to say that word. He really just wants to say mean things about white people. It's weird. It's fucking like, dude, this is sad. This is kind of pathetic, honestly. This is very pathetic, really.
Barely. It's a real race. That's what many people told me, earnestly, honestly, over the internet. They said, white people are a well-defined, clearly outlined race of individuals, and you should protect them. You should...
What is happening, bro? It's really not that deep.
Protect the whites. How would you protect the whites? Considering white genocide, which is a very real thing I learned, okay? How would you protect them? How would you stop white genocide? Of course, shutting off immigration, right? Stopping brown and black people from immigrating.
He's just trying to conflate this, like, hey, don't be mean to white people, to like, oh, you must be a race realist that wants white people. Like, who fucking cares? Most of the people don't give a shit that, like, white genocide is just immigration and white people fucking non-white people, and then those babies aren't considered white because of, you know, the one drop rule or whatever. It's nobody really cares. Like, no, like, people saying this message aren't like they're not. I'm sure there are race realists there, okay, but that the most people are just like, hey, I think most people are people like me who are just like, yeah, I don't really care about the word, but I see why they banned you, because you're just being a dickhead. And now that you won't shut the fuck up about it, it's getting annoying. And now the word cracker is starting to increase in its value because I know that this is just so pathetic, bro.
getting into the country. That's how you protect the white race. It's not a real race, a made-up race built around purity. I want you all to understand.
Bro, it's just a social construct. White is just like, hey, people look white. Like, that's really what it is nowadays. It's a race. I don't know. Everything's made up. I mean, nothing matters. Everything's a social construct. I mean, this is where the pipe we're going down here. You know, we know that there are people who are considered white, and we know that that's it. Like, it's not that fucking deep, bro.
If you're in here waiting for me to get banned, if you're in here to clip chimp, and if you are at the precipice, okay, if you're not like legitimately a fucking Nazi piece of shit, like many people are on the internet, unfortunately, but if you're in the margins and you saw a lot of people make good arguments about just don't make fun of white people, what the fuck, dude? So how do you defend a marginalized group? How do you? How do you defend those who have historically been, as an entire group, the oppressors? How do you defend them without coming across like a white supremacist, fascist, reactionary Nazi piece of shit? You can't. All of these ideas that were pushed by Nazis that have been stolen historically from actually marginalized groups to adopt their struggle and to steal their language and to use it upon themselves, to use it for themselves as though white people are truly marginalized. That entire movement is created both historically and in contemporary society by racist, reactionary, fascist pieces of shit. So
he's conflating everybody that's like, don't be mean to white people, to fucking Nazis. Like, this is the pinnacle of just unintelligence. Like, this honestly is like a very large destruction of credibility for Hasan's platform. Like, he's going through mental gymnastics trying to reprogram his audience and really gaslight the fuck out of you into thinking like, this is the basic concept. Like, hey, that word's not as bad as the N word. I guess I'm not allowed to say it anymore because Twitch might ban me. The C word, which I think is stupid. Like, I feel like I should be able to say cracker within context, as long as I'm not saying it rudely to a person, which I think I probably can, right? It's clearly, just by the fact that I'm saying it, isn't nearly as bad, but you're just trying to be antagonistic towards white people. That's it. So maybe we just try not to do that. It's okay. That's it, man. And we're turning this into anybody that has that perspective. My perspective, I'm a Nazi, white supremacist now. Like, do you see how we're just watering down what words mean? If I'm a Nazi white supremacist for saying what I'm saying, then like what are you talking about? Like, it's insane, bro. I must be. We just had the conversation about like systemic racism existing and how you have to educate white people on it and how that could be offensive to white people, but it doesn't matter because it's something that needs to be heard, which is different of using the C word. But I'm still a white supremacist. It's crazy. It's crazy.
If you consider yourself to be a woke person of the Caucasian variety, and you find yourself thinking, wow, these fucking guys are making a lot of good arguments. Why can't you just not be racist against the whites? Remember, at the heart of the argument is the reactionary stance that white people are a well-defined and often marginalized group of individuals. And also understand...
No, not correct at all. Nobody, like, there's not a lot of people, like, arguing that white people are a marginalized group. I haven't seen that a single time in this entire conversation. It's mostly the very shallow argument of like, hey, just don't be mean to white people. It's nothing to do with white people being well-defined or marginalized or some shit. Who gives a fuck? Like, honestly, when you think about it, none of these classifications are well-defined. Like, what? Like a white person, black person? Like, what does that mean? There's how many fucking, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, black, what does that mean? Does that mean that they are descendants of slaves? Does that mean they're from fucking Nigeria? We don't fucking know. None of these terms are particularly well-defined. We're at the point now where it's really just about what you look like. Asian people? How many fucking people does that encompass? That's not well-defined, but we still say stop Asian hate. None of these are particularly well-defined terms that get down to like the nitty-gritty of like, and actually get down to like what a person is or who they are. It's just a general classification of people. That's pretty much it. None of these are well-defined. They're just general terms. But like this weird argument here, it's just fucking weird. Italians are Mario people? Yeah. Okay. This is just fucking dumb. It's just like, it's not an intelligent argument that he's making. He's making a hyperbolic argument so that he could try to say that anybody with a perspective that's like normal is a racist. It's weird. It's embarrassing. And it actually hurts the conversation. That's all it really does. I mean, you'd think that the people who need to hear Hasan's, by his own logic, because I think his message is dog shit, but the people who need to hear his argument the most would be these horrible racist white people, just generally, that need to be educated on systemic racism. Do you think that they're going to tune into your platform? No, of course not. So you're wrong about the word. but then also you're just intentionally being antagonistic. You're just playing to your base. Like there's not going to be any reach on your message. Like your message is dead in the water. Like nobody cares. There's nothing here. I've seen you cry about palatability of messages. Like it doesn't matter how palatable. It does kind of matter how palatable a message, especially when you're wrong and you're just being antagonistic because you have a fragile ego. That's really what it boils down to. Hasan's ego is so fragile that he got banned, and he won't stop because he's just embarrassing.
That you are further
Can you be racist towards your own race? Yeah, I mean, you can, for sure. You can be racist towards your own race. Yeah, do you think that a black person calling another black person the N-word and saying, I hate black people is racist? Probably. I don't know if it's racism. Is it right? I mean, I guess we're asking the wrong questions.
advocating to, I guess, ban different words such as, and to my knowledge, these are not banned. Hillbilly, hick, man.
So let's go through it. Hillbilly, like a lot of these words have been, lack of a better term, been like reclaimed. Hillbilly, nobody really thinks that that's like a racist. Nobody really cares if you call him a hick. Yeah, nobody really cares about that too much either.
Mayonnaise monkey, vanilla.
Mayonnaise monkey is annoying. It's not as used though. It's not as popular. You know, everybody's rallying around the C word. It's not as popular though. We said vanilla gorilla, not as popular.
The gorilla or honky.
Honky, kind of just like another funny, silly word. Nobody really cares anymore.
Whitey and
Whitey, nobody cares about that.
Numerous other kinds of words. Redneck. That
redneck has been fully reclaimed, bro. We love it when you call us rednecks.
Are used in common vernacular. You want to ban the word Karen? Many people advocated.
Yeah, Karen, again, we don't really... Karen's just an annoying, usually a white woman. It's not that big of a deal. But there can be black women or any color of woman. You know?
In the past, to be able to say the N-word. Or
so, like, what's the argument here? Should we try to ban those words? Like, I just feel like we should just not use them. Because here's the thing. Those used, for the most part, those words aren't being used enough to be considered bannable. That's what it is. Colonizer. Yeah, colonizer's a good racist one.
unironically doing exactly what they hated, right? Supposedly. Becoming annoying fucking SJW ass libs. That's what you guys are doing when you do this.
Wait, but that makes sense though. Wouldn't that be like a conversation of empathy? So if your argument is, hey, there was an entire group of people who said that the N-word was just a word and they were all white, and now those same people are bitching and moaning about the C word. I hate that I have to censor that. Wouldn't that mean isn't that a conversation in empathy though? Isn't that them? Maybe those ignorant white people are finally understanding that it's not just a word. That's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe this is the ultimate conversation in empathy. Maybe this is the conversation that we need to be having. Maybe that's it. Like now you white people finally get that words do hurt. Because you know what's so funny? I remember a while ago, I got a lot of heat for this. There was this black guy who was in like a Dunkin' Donuts. I remember he worked for the whatever fast food chain, and he was like 29. He was just working. He was doing his thing, and this fucking old ass white guy came in, and he I guess they were slow or something, so he was upset. So he started calling the black guy the N-word. He kept calling him the N-word, and the black guy's like, "Yo, you need to stop. You need to stop saying it." And then the black guy wouldn't stop, so he said, "Say it again." And the white guy said it again, and the black guy punched him in the face. Now, unfortunately, he ended up falling down and hitting his head and I think dying. But I was like, you know, talk shit, get hit. Like legally, is it okay? No, like you shouldn't hit people. But morally, you know what you're doing. You're being antagonistic. You're saying the worst word in American language to a black person. There's nothing more minimizing. There's no word that you could really call a white person with the same weight. One singular word. Really any other person. I think that the N-word is like the most intense word. And so you got your ass rocked. And like morally, I'm 100% fine with it because it's about respect and you're being disrespectful. And people were like shitting on me for that. Okay. Well, this is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like maybe now those people who are shitting on me will finally realize that words have weight to them. Words mean more than nothing. Because that was the argument. It's just a word. You're fucking dumb. Okay? Sorry, but you're kind of a dummy. It's not just a word. It's very historically loaded, and it's a word that minimizes black people like that. Now, cracker isn't nearly the same, but maybe there's an exercise in empathy where we go like, oh, maybe words actually are worse than I thought. Because now you realize that there's a word that can make you feel upset. So maybe this is a good thing. Maybe this is a good thing here. Okay? Here we go.
true that you got unbanned exactly 8:21 p.m.? Yes, I did. I did. That is true. This is absolutely true. I did get unbanned at 8:21 p.m. Anyway, folks, that's all I wanted to say about this. That's all I wanted to say. It feels fucking incredible to be back. For those of you who fought hard in the trenches and probably had to fucking deal with a bunch of Nazi pieces of shit, I'm sorry if
for those of you who watched videos of other rational people saying, hey, we get it's not the same, but it's still a bad word, and because you couldn't watch my content, you're in the trenches, and I'm so sorry that you had to hear normal people talking. Like, what the fuck?
We're just being fucking psychotic to you guys. I'm sorry if I let you down. If I, if you were looking forward to my streams and you were not able to do that, you were not able to watch, I apologize. I feel fucking terrible not being able to stream. And congratulations to the fucking weirdos. Not that this actually matters, because my mental health diminishing as a consequence of not being able to stream was significantly worse. But you did it. You caused financial setback. Not that it fucking matters ultimately.
Oh, stop. You caused, like, bro, this is some victim ass shit. You cause financial setback. Bro, you're rich. Bro, when it really boils down to it, you're a rich guy that doesn't want to play by Twitch's rule set. Like, it's kind of pathetic. Like, you kind of are acting like the upper echelon, upper class rich person at this point, where you feel like rules shouldn't apply to you. You said bad words, and they didn't just instantly ban you. They kept pulling your VODs down, and you acknowledged that. And then you continued to go because you got so offended, you felt like you needed to keep escalating the conversation. And now you got banned for a week, and you came back. And instead of, like, listen, I don't know if this is easy to communicate this to you guys, because some of you guys are younger, and I understand it. But, like, have you ever worked at a job before, right? Or like a real job, not like any job, and your manager has said something to you that really pissed you off. They said you need to stop doing such and such behavior, right? And it really pissed you off because you're like, why? This doesn't matter. And then maybe you leave your job a while later, and a few years later, you look back at that situation, you go, you know what? I get why my manager said that. I was being a fucking idiot. I just was used to this particular rule. Like, I had that issue at my former job. I was in a position that didn't have to clock in and out for breaks. That was it. It didn't really matter. They didn't really care. And then I moved into a new position, and like, you had to clock in and out for breaks. And I got irritated. I'm like, well, who fucking cares? Right? Now I still did it. I was annoyed by it. But like, I was pissed off later on, and then I realized, like, yeah, I was just being stupid. That's what this is. That really was what this boils down to, bro. Is that Hasan has a really big ego problem, and he feels like he's outside the rules. And he didn't want to just shut the fuck up and take the punishment. Like, that's it. Someone said that they can't identify my message because they're not a bootlicker, so they just don't work. I don't know. That's just embarrassing for you, brother. But okay. But do you get what I'm saying? Like, that's really all this is. That's all this really is. Or maybe your parents. That's a good example too. Maybe your parents told you to do something and you thought it was stupid, but then you got older and you went, "Oh, okay, I understand why they were doing that." That's where we're at right now. Like, he's bitching over something dumb. Like, he got banned. I think it was understandable. I don't know if I'd say well deserved, but I get it. Twitch is just trying to be equal. And now Hasan is having a fucking meltdown. You know, but that's what happens when you sell out, Hasan, where you criticize Amazon for being the worst company in the world, and then you take exclusivity contracts with them for more money. So it's kind of your fault, bro. But now you're going on about financial setbacks. Fuck you, bro. Like, shut the fuck up.
Because I have, enough money. Don't get me wrong. But you did. I went from 53,000 subscribers to 45,000 as of now, but it was...
Who cares? Who cares? So stop doing the bad thing. Just stop doing the bad thing, Hasan. You won't have this issue anymore.
It was 42,000 yesterday. So congratulations to all of the Nazis. That was 10,000 subs. You did it. You did it. I want you to take this dub. I want you to take this dub and feel good about it.
This is like really embarrassing, bro, because he's going on about money now. This is like pathetic. A millionaire is going on about how he lost money. Like, this is kind of just embarrassing. Yeah, this is very relatable. I remember when I lost 10,000 subs. I remember when I lost $25,000 in a week, and it didn't matter to me. Like, what? Or maybe 35,000. I don't know how much he gets paid per sub.
Not that it fucking matters, ultimately, because, like, only 45,000. Are you kidding me? But, I was able to consistently go out to bat for something I believe in. I'm not saying that my situation is worse than anyone else's.
I don't understand why there's more outrage when it comes to using this word than there is for you selling yourself out. Like, honestly, I don't care if you think it's a broken record. You criticize Amazon and then you aligned with them as much as possible. And like, you don't care about that. That's just like, I gotta make money, bro. But when it comes down to like defending this word, this is where you live and die on. It's really weird because this conversation about this word is not helpful in any capacity. This is a virtue signal conversation that doesn't doesn't actually help anybody. Like, there's no, even if there's no black people, no marginalized group is being helped by defending the usage of the word, of the C word, against white people. We're not helping anybody. It really is just it's nothing. Like, this is one of those, it's one of those things where it doesn't actually do anything, right? So it's like the conversation about whether you can or can't be racist towards white people, and having this conversation, whether or not the definition is changed, it doesn't help the fucking black kid in the ghetto who doesn't have access to school. It's a conversation online so that you can say, hey, I'm on the good side, but it doesn't actually materialize into any positive outcome for any marginalized group. It's just a dumb, distractive conversation that takes away from other conversations. It doesn't matter. It's stupid. And we're all engaging in it. Obviously, I'm sitting here engaging in it because it's my fucking job. But like, this is unhelpful. It's uneventful. It's fucking embarrassing. It's stupid.
I always talk about how cancel culture is fucking bullshit. I've talked about it regularly, and I still believe it, okay? I believe that cancel culture is fucking bullshit, and it's oftentimes weaponized by dickheads like this that scream about cancel culture, but then weaponize it against those who they believe are easy to attack. And I do get very heated from time to time, and that's precisely why I'm so easy to attack in that regard, right? Okay. But they're the same person. As my friend Felix Biederman says all the time, these people are the same people. Conservatives and liberals are the exact same people. They hate one another, but they are literally the same. Everyone is the same person. Everyone.
I mean, sure, everybody's hateful and they want to cancel other people, sure. I don't know that this was cancel culture, though. I don't think that Twitch felt pressured. That's one of the things. This isn't even cancel culture. Because, like, cancel culture is when a group of people push to get somebody canceled in some capacity. I don't think anybody pushed to get him canceled. I think Twitch was just like, yeah, you know what? This isn't a good thing. Let's ban him for a week. Maybe he'll learn his lesson. Well, it clearly worked. But now afterwards, people were happy and excited. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little giggly, only because it's like, why? I only cared after I saw him defend his usage of the word. I was like, yeah, you deserve it, so fuck you. It was after. This isn't even cancel culture. Like, Hasan, this is dumb. How is this? This is so unintelligent. This is just stupid. None of these things that he's literally just saying words. He's just a victim in his own mind. Nothing he's saying actually really makes sense. This is just dumb, bro. This is dumb. Oh my God.
Everyone wants to fucking become an influencer and sell t-shirts, and everyone wants to fucking cry about oppression and marginalization and move further and further away from any sort of dialectical, materialist analysis, any sort of structural analysis.
Let's just listen to that again.
Sell t-shirts, and everyone wants to fucking cry about oppression and marginalization.
Right, because Hasan is being oppressed by us, right? Because we canceled him. That's what he's saying. You're this person that you're describing. I don't understand. You're literally describing yourself. You are describing yourself.
And move further and further away from any sort of dialectical, materialist analysis. Any sort of structural analysis is devoid. They do not care about who's fucking them. They do not care about who's really fucking them. All they want to do is cry about being victimized.
This is literally him. He doesn't care who's really fucking him. He just blamed it on cancel culture when Twitch was the one who did it, unprompted by anybody. He literally is this person he's describing. How is he not like self-aware enough to understand what he's doing right now? This is embarrassing.
By others on the internet. And the very same people that fucking screech off the top of their lungs and try to relitigate Gamergate era politics, the neck-bearded, pasty fucking weirdos on the internet that do that, okay, that wish we could go back to the Gamergate era of politics.
That's body
Those very same people do the exact same hysterical screeching that they made fun of and made content around.
It's so weird because I feel like there's a lot of people who, listen, I don't know specifically what Gamergate was. It sounds like my assumption here is I know that the gaming community in general is very regressive when it comes to their thoughts on everybody, right? I've been there. And so it sounds like people want to go back to like nating on women and black people, right? Gamergay, very good, yeah. But we're having big conversations about like Activision Blizzard. Oh, can I speak today? Being shitty, a worthless company that sexually harasses women and they cover it up and don't care about it. Right, like those are so. I don't think that that's like in a mainstream conversation. Like big gaming individuals like Asmongold are talking about that. I don't think that like I'm sure that there are your fucking like. I'm sure that there are dumb pieces of shit that are also sitting here like, yeah, use the C word and the N word are both acceptable, one or the other. But most people are just like, yo, bro, just stop being mean. Just stop. You know, I just, why? Like, why? And even if you just, why do you need to keep talking? Like, honestly, Twitch probably should ban him again for a week. only because like he's literally going out of his way to be violating again. He's being intentionally antagonistic. But whatever. I mean,
in many instances, they're just as ugly, if not way uglier, and have worse
I'm
politics.
pretty ugly.
Anyway, I keep fucking forgetting.
I am very ugly. I will say that.
That I'm live, and that I should tweet that I'm live.
I will say though one thing. There is something that so you understand. The halo effect is very real, right? So you realize that, like, listen, I'm not super smart, but I'm pretty sure that Hasan has to be one of the dumbest fucking people I've ever seen. But he's attractive, so he has a wide-reaching message. You know what I mean? I just have to hit the gym, and I got to grow my hair back, or just cut it all off. I think I have to just cut it all off, my top of my hair. They shouldn't permaband to him. That would be stupid. That would be dumb. Like, it's more of just like, bro, why do you have to be so fucking racist or whatever? Why do you have to justify the usage? I got to get rid of the hair, I think. I think if I keep this bald all the time, I'm hoping my wife got me this really cool. There's this really cool razor. The guy at the barber shop used it on me. Maybe I should go back there. And it was just like he put his hand in it and he just like, and he fucking nay-nayed all my hair. And then I just got to muscle up. I just got to get these up. Boom. I got to beef that up. And then I'll be popular. That's what it is. That's pretty much all it is, bro. You just got to be handsome and you don't really want to be smart, because the smarter you are, the less people you appeal to. Right? Like you want to be everybody's everyman. You have to be on the same level as the people that you talk to. I'm just fucking kidding. You want me to keep you want me to like hog rider the top so I look like a fucking hog rider? I could do that. Look at how bad my hair is. I'm really losing my fucking hair. Jesus Christ. You gotta be a populist, yeah. You notice that like the most famous people are the dumbest people, you know what I'm saying, brother? So when you realize this, because once I become very famous, you'll realize it's because I'm fucking dumb as shit. So
I've learned from my mistakes and believe the white race needs to be defended.
So embarrassing. Like everything has to be a fucking like a big old like fucking Nazi conversation.
Thank you, Twitch. I'm gonna at them too. That's what they want. They want me to fucking defend the white race, dude. That's not it. They just want you to not be mean to white people. It's really not super complicated. It's just very embarrassing. I'm doing, baby. Let's go. Right? How are you gonna do that? That's the point. Guys, that's the fucking point. You can't fucking do that without being a Nazi. It's the Nazis that are the ones who are saying shit like that, because the only way to defend the white race is by stopping miscegenation from happening. You know what I mean? A thing that white identitarians who fucking cried about all of those types of things back in the 60s were vehemently against. And still...
Wait, we're not even in the 60s, dog. What the fuck?
Some of them who would openly fucking admit shit like this will say it out loud by saying white genocide is real because black people and white people are fucking. Mexican people and you know, brown people...
Bro, what the dude? I'm flabbergasted by this conversation, bro. It's really not that deep. Nobody's like, white genocide is happening because I like to fuck Latinas. I fucking listen. I married a very beautiful like Irish girl, but you know, bro, it could have been a Latina. You know what I'm saying? By the way, that's how we advocate on this stream. Remember, Modern Warrior told us that the best way for white people to help other people of color is to just not have babies. And I said that that's shitty and racist. What you should do is make sure that you marry, you as a white person, you fuck a person of color so your baby comes out non-white. Because that's what you got to do. That's the best way to genocide the white race. Bro, nobody's saying this like, nobody is really saying this on like, seriously, there are people saying it, but like people aren't really saying this. Like, this is fucking insane. Oh, fucking white genocide. Shut the fuck up. This is insane. We went from like, hey, don't say the mean words to white people to like, you have to be a Nazi. It's like, what the fuck?
People and white people are fucking, and that's why we need to stop immigration. That's what they say. That is how you stop
Who's
white genocide.
they? Like Nick Fuentes? No, nobody's seriously saying this message. Yeah, we need to have a bunch of gray babies. Exactly.
Defend the white race because it's a made-up fucking concept built around purity. That's the point, and that's been the fucking point. This is not real.
No, no. This is what's really happening. Is Hasan did a shitty bad thing, and now he's using racism as a shield and a weapon. That's it. It's not that deep. He's just hurting the conversation by just talking about this.
It's not real. It doesn't come from a real place of marginalization. Anyway, let's fucking sit down. Bruce, drop him off. Banned for C-word? No shot. Are you serious? I got banned for saying cracker in a chat. I fucking knew that this was going to happen. Like, this is so stupid. Good job, Twitch. Yeah.
Who cares? Okay.
What? Free speech? They had something called the free speech ball at the Lulbert booth where you could write literally anything, even slurs or whatever. So I wrote this, and the next day it was crossed out. Lamau. Socialism rocks. Wait, they fucking painted over it. Oh my god. God damn.
Okay.
Exactly.
What is the rest of this? Is it just like nothing?
That meme in and of itself is the perfect example of this very thing that you're watching, which is like motherfuckers are like, as a white person, I should be able to say the N-word. It's fucking ridiculous. It's free speech. But then literally like, well,
I don't think anybody should say the N-word at all. Well, with the A, you know what I mean? Like if you're black, it'd be my guess, but I'm referring to the hard R. You know, if you're white, you probably shouldn't say that unless you're bumping to like a Childish Gambino song in your car by yourself. Then you could, then maybe if you really want to rock off the soft A, you know, because at that point it's art. Just don't say the word. This is fucking stupid.
well, also at the same time, there are other words that black people and anyone else, as a matter of fact, shouldn't say at all. It's not. No one is fucking pro free speech. I say this all the time. I have said this a million times over. I don't believe that anyone is like legitimately a fucking free speech advocate with like minor exceptions. You got like no.
Wait, I'm so confused. Does he want people to be free speech? Because, bro, wait, this is so confusing. Hold on, this doesn't even make sense. This is just really fucking dumb.
As a matter of fact, shouldn't say at all. It's not. No one is fucking pro free speech. I say this all the time. I have said this a million times over. I don't believe that anyone is like legitimately a fucking free speech advocate with like minor exceptions. You got like Noam Chomsky, and even then.
Well, I'm so confused because wouldn't you criticize? He was just criticizing free speech advocates, and like, you know, free speech. You know, say what you want. You know, freedom of speech, not freedom of consequences. But like, I'm so confused. You were just saying that white people, that all the white people talking about this word just want to say the N-word. They're saying like, oh, it should either be both or neither of them. And now you're like, nobody's a free speech advocate. Those would be free speech advocates saying that you should just make all words free. So you criticized them before, and now it's a criticism against other people. This doesn't make any sense. Childish Gambino is art, dude. Shut the fuck up.
And I'm pretty sure that there are limitations to the free speech that he would advocate for, and that's it. But that isn't the argument most whites are making. Why not argue against the real point? There is no real point, Duke Dingus. You are a dingus. The real point is like, oh, you're causing racial animosity. It's like, no, you're not. That's not true.
Yeah, you're just being. Yeah, you kind of are. Like and you're. It's pretty much it. It's just unnecessary.
I'm not going to relitigate the same exact talking points that I've fucking talked about a million times over. You're a pathetic.
Well, here's the problem.
Little bitch.
Here's the problem here. This is a classic tactic from like any dumb fuck. Is a lot of times, and I want you guys to understand, as humans, we think that we're really smart, but we're really not. And we like to overcomplicate conversations all the time. The basic talking point here is, hey, it's just it's not nice. Like, it is trying to be antagonist towards white people. So you probably shouldn't say it. That's it. That's the whole thing. That's all it is. That's the whole conversation. There's no depth to it. Because there's no necessity for depth. Now we can go a layer deeper and go like, we know the word isn't as bad, but it's still bad, so you shouldn't say it. But now we have this like very basic thing here. It's like, hey, it's a bad word, you probably shouldn't say it. Like, you know, you're trying to be antagonist towards white people, and we've brought it to this depth of like, no, you're a Nazi racist. We've gone through this fucking jungle gym, this mental jungle gym to justify it, to overcomplicate it, so that you can create magical points out of thin air. And say that's what they're talking about. It's all about fucking white genocide. It's not really about white genocide. Should it be ban-worthy? I don't really know. I mean, like, here's the thing, bro. Maybe? I don't know. It's really up to Twitch. I mean, here's the thing. Like, it's intentionally antagonistic. Does it really matter if it is or isn't ban-worthy? Because like you shouldn't be saying the word, right? Like, do you think that we like, you know what I'm saying? So they were like, hey, you know, we're gonna try to create like, I guess, a more equal space. So they ban the word, right? But the thing is that they didn't just ban the word. Like, they didn't ban him for it. They removed like 2 of his VODs first. Like, he got ample warning. They didn't even treat. If anybody came on and said I said the hard R, boom, I'd be done, justifiably so. But they gave him multiple warnings. They're like, you know what? This is a bad thing. Stop doing it. And he's like, no, fuck it. I'm going to keep pushing it. Then he gets banned and comes back and he justifies it again. That's what this is all about, man. This is an ego trip. It has nothing to do with white people, really. It's Hasan. He has a massive ego. He has an issue with like any level of authority. Like, he doesn't get. That's it. You know, if he had any self-respect, he would just leave Twitch and go on YouTube full time. And there you go. Fuck you. But he signed an exclusivity contract because he sold out. So like, what? This is just fucking dumb. Yeah, if it leads to harassment ban-worthy, sure, why not?
Crying. Here's another tweet from Bruce. Hateful slurs. Yeah, I got the same exact one. In public or private chat messages? Oh shit, Twitch doesn't want you saying the C word even in private, dude. I know exactly why I got banned. I got banned for calling a Redditor, trigger warning. I got banned on Twitch for calling a Redditor, an LSF commenter, a dumb cracker bitch. It is contextually appropriate for me to say cracker. It is contextually appropriate for me to talk about the word and its history and how it's not that significant or serious, but I cannot call someone a dumb cracker bitch. That's why I got banned. I'm telling you.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay. I agree. I think you should you should be able to say the word cracker in an educational context, right? But you shouldn't be able to call somebody that. Even with that, even the way in which Twitch apparently is monitoring the word is not the same as any other slur. Like, you shouldn't be able to say the N word with a hard R, even in an educational context. You should never be able to say it, because that's how horrible the word is and how loaded the word is. But this word, and I'm still on the fence of whether I'm allowed to say it or not, I don't know. The C word, you should be able to say it educationally, just not in an antagonistic tone where you yell at people for it or call somebody. You know, that's it. It's not that big of a deal, because it's not as bad. It's still not good. Like we said, piss and shit on a wall. Rather clean piss off the wall, but please don't piss on my walls. You know? Yeah, he has rich person mentality. That is what it is. He has rich person mentality. That's all it is, brother. He's not used to taking an L, bro.
This so you also know not to call someone a cracker or call.
You know, the other day I have a little nail polish on my finger, and the other day my wife painted her nails, and she's like, I want a Christmas tree design on my finger. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll try making one on my finger, and then I could do it on her finger. And now I keep looking at it. It's like this dark green, and I kind of want to paint my nails, but I feel like that's too feminine for me. I feel self-conscious about it. You know what I'm saying? But my wife's like, you want me to paint your nails? I'm like, I don't know, bro, because I feel like that's kind of gay. You know, like, not in a bad, like, I'm just not a big feminine guy. So I feel like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, bro. But it made me feel kind of good. I don't know why. I know this is totally off topic, but it made me feel nice when I painted my nails. You know what I can't even explain why. I was like, that's kind of nice. It's not alpha. I don't really care about if it's alpha or not. I just don't know if I personally, like, I think it's fine if guys use nail polish. But for me, like, it's for me. I don't know if it's for me. I don't know if I would feel comfortable doing it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why it felt nice either. I can't even think. You know, it's one of those very new concepts. Like, why did it feel kind of nice? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just a nice color on my fingernails. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. Anyway.
Call someone a dumb cracker bitch or anything like that. You cannot do that.
No polish is unisex. I don't think it's unisex. I think it's working its way there. But, like, it's not forever. Like, this is one of those things. I think this is one of those things where, like, if I saw another guy wear nail polish, it doesn't matter to me. But if I wore it, I feel like I feel like I would personally question my own masculinity, I guess. It's one of those interesting things. I don't know. I'm still wrapping my brain around it. It's still a feminizing thing. I don't know, bro. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see with that. A Sigma would eat the paint. Actually, not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea.
Does the beep work?
I don't like black nail polish, though. I like the dark green was nice. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want a clear coat either. I feel like that's like, what is that? Just gonna have spark, like, shiny nails? That's ridiculous.
I do this? Like, you cannot call someone a dumb bitch. And as is the case with, like, everyone, some people just, like, straight up get clapped for no fucking reason. Some people got banned for just saying it, simply saying it. But I'm telling you what information was relayed to me. Did you see NMP Law's head mod got banned for saying it, but without actually calling anyone it? Yeah, I heard that NMP Law's main moderator said in a non-directional way. And so Twitch was like, oh yeah, we fucked up, and we unbanned them for saying the word. I think banning it literally makes it, like, beeping over it makes it so much worse. Alyssa was fucking seething that she got unbanned, saying she should get banned again for her Discord logs where she says,
what is he, like, bleeping it in stream?
It under off-platform behavior. Yeah, seethe more, you fucking little bitches, okay? Cry more, cry harder. No, I'm just saying that Twitch needs to stop capitulating to white supremacists as those doing white identity politics.
Twitch needs to stop capitulating. Like, it's not that, it's not that deep, bro. Just stop saying the word.
You will make the platform a worse place overall. I think that is true. This is targeted? Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's the most annoying fucking thing. Guess what? I mean, they did this to Susu as well. Hi again.
It's targeted?
Team YouTube, my video got marked 18 plus and
see, this is what I'm talking about. He thinks he's a victim. So when we say it's targeted, you know what? The way that it's targeted towards the bigger platforms with a lot more attention. That's who it's targeted towards. Because it's like it's a trickle down economics. No, but it's social trickle down, like, fucking theory or whatever. Right? Like, the big platform people, the big people with a lot of influence are saying a bad thing and doing a bad thing. That signals to smaller platforms that doing and saying a bad thing is okay. So if you ban the top or the bigger ones, you're saying you're telling everybody to stop saying it. That's pretty much it. It's a signal. You're not getting targeted. Yeah, you're getting targeted because you're a big fucking, you have a lot of influence. Like, what, just like a dumb fuck thing to say. I'm being targeted. I'm the victim. Hasan is the victim. Do you see how embarrassing this situation is? He's the fucking victim here. He's the fucking victim, bro. And like, that's embarrassing. The rich guy, he says he's white, right? He's self-proclaimed white. He's rich white man complaining about how he's being marginalized. He's literally the guy that he's talking about. He's a rich white man getting fucking attacked. I'm getting attacked. I make millions of dollars a year. I'm the fucking victim. Bro, embarrassing. Embarrassing, dude. Embarrassing. A rich white guy got pulled down for saying a bad word, and now he's a fucking victim, and now Twitch needs to fucking be, it's terrible, and cancel culture. I'm getting canceled, even though Twitch didn't do this prompted by anybody. They just decided to do it. It's embarrassing, bro. This is embarrassing. This is very embarrassing, bro.
Monetized with no specific reason given. Why? Because she had the audacity to fucking make content with me. I was capitulating to white supremacists. I'm genuinely curious. Yes, just curious, Andy. I've described this already, but I will describe it again.
I've described this already. I've overcomplicated the point, and I've turned it into white supremacy.
White fragility and white identity politics, given the nature of whiteness, which revolves around purity, is a stepping stone towards white supremacist politics.
Bro, I understand historically whiteness was all centralized around purity. Nowadays, it's just like really the way you look. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. It's just a group of people. I'm not sitting here being like, I'm a white guy and I have to continue my fucking whiteness by fucking another white person. That's not really most of our mentalities. I'm sure some people are that shitty. I'm sitting here and I'm just like, bro, I'm a white person and you're saying a meanie word at me, bro. It makes me upset. I really don't care that much, although it is getting annoying, I've explained before, because now that it's becoming very intentional. But it's not. You know, he's just trying to say, he thinks if he says white enough times, it makes sense. I think so. Yeah. He just keeps saying the word white because white is a bad word. Like, if you're white, you're a bad person now. It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Politics in general. That is precisely why when you say white people need to be defended, or when you say white power, you are doing racism. You are doing.
White people need to be defended. I'm not really saying that. Like, I don't think that there's a massive widespread problem. There is a normalization online of like hating white people and it being okay. And there's a normalization of policing what white people say and not what other people say. I do think that that's a problem. Is that as big of a problem as fucking black people not having access to the same resources? No, of course not. But like we don't have to have like these hyperbolic conversations. Like sometimes we could just say like, hey, stop white hate. Just stop saying mean words to white people. It's not really that serious. And then we can get back to having the real conversations, right? Like of where black people are actually oppressed as a group. But instead, we're very distracted with this. You know, but mostly like nobody cares about black people right now because it's not like we're not really close to an election season. So once the election season pops up, Hasan will be talking about black people more. Like every 2 years, we care about black people, and we just kind of forget. And they just become like it's really just like a brownie point. It's like it's black season again. I love black people. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it boils down to. It's actually very unfortunate. We don't really give a fuck. We have these very distracted conversations about this though. Like, what the fuck are we talking about right now?
Doing a racism, you are doing a white supremacy. I don't know if you legitimately wanted to understand that, or if you were just simply doing a just curious bullshit. But I will always defend and help you recognize why, even if you come in here with like cynical attitudes. White pride is racist. White power.
I don't think that you should have white pride. I don't have pride being white. You know, what's to be proud about, bro? I burn so easily in the sun. Like, I literally will get fucking cancer on the top of my head because I'm balding and I'm white. There's nothing prideful about being white, but I'm still white. I didn't choose to be white. I didn't even have a say in the social construct. I didn't have a say. If I had a say, bro, I'd be black, bro. That'd be cool as fuck. I don't want the marginalization aspect, but I'd be cool to identify as black. And I can wear a do-rag. I'm just But like, it's just like, it's weird. It's just so weird. We're so backwards in the conversation. People are categorized without their consent, really. And then if you're mean to that categorization of people, then you start being bad. That's it. That's all it is, bro. That's really what it boils down to, dog.
Power is racist. We ran over these exact same arguments all the way back in the Gamergate era, and there was a fucking reason why so many Nazis were able to straight up fucking use that as an entry point to fucking red pill so many people. They did that. They utilized, like, why can't white people who are under attack all the time be able to defend their rights? Why? How do you defend white rights? How do you defend whiteness as a concept? How do you stop, for example, white genocide from happening? What is white genocide? Less white people.
Who the fuck's talking? Dude, we're not talking about white genocide.
Overall, right? How are there less white people? There's less white people when there's miscegenation. So how do you stop white genocide from occurring? By stopping immigration from non-white countries. And
I don't care, bro. I don't care about that. I don't give a fuck, bro. I really just don't give a shit about less white people in the world. I just don't fucking care. It means absolutely nothing to me and the overwhelming majority of people who are agreeing with what I'm saying. It's just about just stop being a dickhead.
preventing people from literally race mixing, okay? That's how you stop white genocide. Because genocide to white people only occurs when...
I'm going to make sure that my kids only fuck people of color so that they're not white, so that they don't get hated anymore. That's it. I don't want my kids to be... I don't want my kids, my grandchildren to be hated. So I'm going to tell all my babies that they got to fuck a black guy. Even the men, you got to fuck a black guy. I'm going to have gay men, because you can't be straight anymore. You're straight white man. So I'm going to make my kids gay. And all my male kids gay, and all my girl kids not gay, and they all black guys. Boom. I'm gonna have like 4 kids, and they're gonna all have black boyfriends. How's that? Does that work? Am I woke enough? Am I good? Just adopt. I thought about adopting. We thought about it. If we had like a struggle, we thought about adopting. You know, it's on the table. So.
People are fucking one another that aren't people that are fucking one another that aren't all white. Yeah, why isn't there a white pride month? This stuff is really dangerous. This stuff
nobody's asking for a white pride month. Like, bro, I mean, I'm sure there are people, but like nobody's seriously asking for white pride.
Is really, really dangerous. Whiteness is not about the color of your fucking skin.
It is honestly almost exclusively now about the color of your skin, brother. It is pretty much only about your color of your skin.
Precisely the reason why so many people say, I'm not white. I'm fucking paler than most of these motherfuckers saying I'm not white. Why am I not white? Because I'm not part of the in-group, okay? Irish pride, not racist. Italian pride, not racist. White pride equals racism. Exactly. You're a...
Okay, I agree with that too, but like, what the fuck?
Cracker lava, the sweet Turkish dessert snack? Yeah, exactly. And this isn't new. I actually thought that we had moved beyond...
Yeah, I can't adopt a white baby, you're right. Yeah. No, because if I do, then I'm like appropriating culture or something. I don't know. Probably, right? Like if I adopt like a black kid, is that racist though? I don't know.
Like, I thought that platforms were smarter about this sort of brigading. I thought that platforms were better about this sort of fucking action, and they didn't capitulate to people who knowingly are fucking doing this, regardless of their own personal point of view. Like, they know. There's a reason. I mean, I've said this a million times, but it bears repeating. There's a reason why Barack Obama is not considered another white president, but actually considered the first black president. I've repeated this so many...
Yeah, he's half black. We get it. One drop rule. We understand that how that works, but like we're at a point now where it's just about what you look like, dog.
Fucking times. Why do you think that's the case? Because whiteness is defined by your distance to blackness. Whiteness is defined by a in-group that is sometimes expanding, but oftentimes getting smaller, that is built around the concept of exclusion. That's why there is no white culture. That's why there's Italian culture, English culture.
But you... If your argument is that whiteness doesn't exist, then why are you using a word that exclusively upsets white people? Like you're just contributing to that idea that white people exist. This is just so dumb. Like this is so
culture. But there's Irish culture, but there is a black culture, because black culture was forced upon the African descendants of slaves that were robbed, raped, genocided, stolen from their fucking lands, and had their individual and very diverse cultural identity, their languages, their understanding of the world ripped away from them. So they had to create a new culture within that intergenerational trauma and struggle. American whiteness is based on...
Sure. Okay. But whiteness still exists, bro. I don't know.
Exclusion and separation of others is literally the first thing you learn in advanced U.S. history class, and people still argue against it. Yeah, it just sounds so fucking insane to act like that's not the case. How does it feel to know that you're talking to 46,000 people? It feels fucking like home, okay? That's how it feels. If there was a thing that I don't believe in like fate or all that other shit, okay? But if there was a job that I was literally personally fucking built for, with all of my collective experiences working towards this moment, it would be precisely this job. I felt fucking terrible when I didn't have my chat. I felt terrible when I didn't have my sense of community.
Well, you are a rich white victim, Hasan, so...
Felt terrible when I didn't have a sense of purpose, and I felt like I was just staring into walls. I literally noticed that I was just not yelling, but like basically doing fucking commentary. That wasn't a joke. I was straight up doing commentary to random people in my life, like my trainers. I was like yelling about Nancy Pelosi and how she said that congresspersons and their immediate family members should be able to... Felt terrible that Twitch monies was drying up. Yeah, totally. Remember, I said in the beginning of the broadcast, I lost 10,000 subs in the process of being banned for 7 days. But that still puts me at 42,000 subs. If I didn't love what I do, I could just as easily fucking do it once a week, twice a week, 4 times a week, still maintain a...
Well, you can't, because now you have a contract with Swish, but okay.
Pretty fucking solid living. I spend it on nothing, the money I make, because this is what I enjoy doing. That's just the reality.
Okay, guys. So let's just do a little recap here.
Consider your...
It's just a bad word. It's not as bad as the other word. It's not that deep. Just stop saying shit about white people. That's not nice. Not everybody's a white supremacist, blah, 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. This is so stupid. This was just so unintelligent. Like, I don't understand. It's just so dumb. Crackergate. That's funny, actually. Is he self-hating? Well, okay. So here's the thing. Hasan says that he's white constantly. Talks about how he's white, all the time. and until like it's something like this comes up, and then he uses this as like a distancing himself from white. So he doesn't really, I guess, identify as white. I don't really know how you talk about that. Like, I know I'm white because I'm told that I'm white all the time. Well, not all the time, but like we know I'm white. Like, you would consider me white. Like, I'm fucking like half German, half Jewish, whatever. But I'm white. I look white. I'm a white guy. Whatever. Not a big deal. I can't really distance myself. Hasan, I guess, can distance himself because some people wouldn't consider him white. So he's white when he says it, so that this way he feels like he has the ability to criticize white stuff. But then like he just instantly distances himself from like his own whiteness or whatever as a virtue signal. Really, it's the same thing as any other like fucking like performative SJW. Well, not even SJW. Just other performative like white savior that will just denounce their own whiteness at every chance that they get, because they understand that white people aren't a marginalized group. So like it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't really matter if you say you hate white people. Outside of it just upsets white people, which is the truth. That's it. Like, saying mean things to white people is just upsetting to white people. Saying mean things to black people can have like very serious issues when it comes to jobs and whatnot. It can be exclusionary from them, their ability to get a job, because, you know, the way that our social power structure and hierarchy works, right? So white saviors like Hasan, basically what they do is what they'll still do is they're like, I'm white and fuck white people, because they know that there's no power there. Like, they can be like, fuck white people, and they know that they're not like at any risk because they're rich and white. So they can just say like, oh, fuck white people, have these performative dumb fuck conversations. And that's it. You know? And other white people are just like, hey, we just don't want to be offended. Like, we just don't want to be upset. We know that there's no history there, but it's like kind of annoying. But Hasan's like, because there's no history there, it doesn't matter. Which I guess it doesn't, especially if you're a rich white man like Hasan that sells out all his moral values. Mean people are just mean, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're just meanies, bro. You ruined the word cracker for me, to be honest with you, because it would have been fun to just call people it as a joke. But now you killed it. I can't even say it. Okay? Can't even make a joke anymore, bro. Well, I have to stick to making jokes about women. Fuck, man, it's sexist. Hasan, you're making me more sexist. I gotta take a wee. I'm gonna look at some of these fucking things here. This whole situation is pointless, basically. Like, yeah, just stop being fucking racist, I guess. You know what I mean? Just don't be racist with white people. It's really not that deep. Go, you know. Fuck you, C-word. Fucking C-words.